Gaining insights into your products is essential for optimizing performance, driving innovation, and ultimately achieving business success in today's competitive marketplace. Every day, new products are being launched, and it's hard to know our target customers' acceptance rate. Being able to get insights early in the process can really help us scale more reliably, at a faster speed, and be more agile in responding to external changes. Today, we have Mr. So Ju-Hu and Ms. Jemima Song from Humankind to share with us how entrepreneurs can use market insights tools to exactly help business owners access market insights for the market acceptability of their products, or even get competitor research to understand brand positioning in the market at 10x the speed and 10x scalability. Welcome, Ju and Jem, onto scaleupmastery.com. I'm very excited to hear about Humankind Insights and what it can bring to the entrepreneurs that are scaling up their business through the work that you've done through Humankind.
Hi, Sian. Happy to be here. Thanks for inviting us. So let me just start off who we are and how can we help business owners. So simply put, we help businesses understand who their customers are and what they care most about. So where do business owners need help? That's a question that we ask ourselves very often. And, in our experience, we found that they do need help to translate what they do into real value for their customers. And, that's what a business is about. When a group of people or an organization, they create value for another group of people, which is their customers. And if we do it right, we should see two outcomes. Whether your customers come back to buy from you tomorrow, and whether they tell someone else about who you are because they want to have it for them too. And your business actually becomes what they themselves represent. So once we know about this, businesses can then design and communicate the right experience and do so genuinely and naturally. So customers can start to build trust and gravitate towards them.
From that perspective, it is the inspiration from which you created this Humankind Insights tool?
Yes, of course. So we have spent about 6 years helping businesses craft their brand strategy. What we found was missing crucially in this process is high quality customer insights. So without that, there's a lot of guesswork on part of the business owners. They are, guessing what shall we offer, where should we focus. So it's not that businesses don't believe in quality insights. It's just that to generate high quality customer insights with existing market research solutions, the process is too long and it's really expensive to repeat it regularly and sufficiently in a way that is that you feel that it's enough, that can contribute back to their business. So we believe that we can close this gap of data gathering process with design and generative AI.
So I'm glad you talked about gathering this data. Can I ask you to share a little bit more about how this data is actually gathered? Part of the process is not just designing the questionnaires, the quiz, and finding out what you want to find out, but really being able to gather reliable data is quite important, right?
Like it's quite similar to existing customer research process. So step one, right? We use AI to assist us in designing and launch a test survey in less than 10 minutes. So for example, if you want to find out more about customer retention, so what makes your customer comes tomorrow, right? And simply fill that up, indicate that, and the test design and the questions will be generated. Of course, you can make some edit. Step two, when people start taking the test in the next few days, right, these can be your existing customers, or it could be the testers that are already on our platform. They have to make the purchase and they observe their experience and they answer the question, simple as that, right? And then upon verification, they will then be given a cash rebate, a small amount of cash rebate. So that incentive comes only later. That means that they have to actually spend their money and they have to be genuinely wanting to try the product or service so that they are willing to spend the money first, right? So designing this entire experience are super important, the motivation for why they take the test. So now jump to step 3. The AI will then assist in generating the insights report. That's where AI can help us process a larger volume of quantitative data and allow us to look at these data sets in a more like a deeper way and help us sieve out some patterns. And then together with us as research consultants, we'll derive some actionables where the business can take. So after these 3 steps, like you move back to step 1, literally. It's like an agile research method where you design another test, you ask better questions, you are almost like having conversations with your customers, but not as individual customers, but as a whole. And then over time, you gain deeper insights each time. And that is very hard to achieve using conventional or current existing market research method.
Most business owners know like what sort of questions they want to ask, right? That comes from the business owner. But really what answers we want really should be coming from our customers. And what you're suggesting here is that your platform will have a group of ready testers, and these testers would be people who have maybe already expressed an interest in the brand, and then be ready to participate on the platform, and then maybe as part of the program give some incentives to them because they're already interested or existing customers of those brands. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Actually, it is very important for us to do this right in a way that how we create or enroll any individuals, that could be the customers, that could be a new prospect, to take this test in a genuine manner where we can harvest the most quality feedback. And what we believe is that every individual has a potential to give very constructive feedback, and at the same time to give very unconstructive feedback. It's just how we create that narrative and motivations to enroll them so that the feedback is relevant and useful. So I think that's the hard part for average business owner when we're talking about they are not trained in market research or they do not know how to craft the questions. It's very difficult for them to execute this entire process by themselves. So we already talked about 2 points, right? One is how do you enroll customers in a genuine way that we're not fabricating stories. It takes a little bit level of some level of like humbleness to tell your customers that we need your feedback to help us improve, to serve you better, right? And then the second part, we are also talking about the lack of experience in business owner, where in designing the test questions themselves in a non-biased way and giving enough context such that the questions is asked well, then we were able to harvest like qualitative feedback. Yeah. So and of course, lastly, the difficult part is when you have all these, we are talking about qualitative insights. These are sometimes, a lot of times, are open-ended questions we ask. So analyzing these data points are very difficult, and what are considered useful insights to take notes. These are all the challenges that the businesses are facing now.
You mentioned AI in analytics and AI insights. Is this where it comes in? Would you like to elaborate a little bit more about the role of AI?
That's a good question because I think lately we all experience the power of Gen AI with the large language model. They're able to process more information contextually and reply and give a response that is very human-like. And with this, we're able to leverage on this tech tool and this technology now to help us sift through all these open-ended answers that we are gathering from our testers. And so this is very difficult even for individual. Let's say we do a test and we gather 50 responses, and these are all open-ended questions. Right, this is super hard to process. It will take time for even an experienced research consultant. Where do AI comes in? Where do they do well? And then for human, where do the human comes in? So what we think particularly is that AI will do very well when they process the data, large volume of data. They can make better suggestions, and they can also do it like way much faster. And it gives us a good references. Then where the human come in and do well is to process these suggestions, references. It helps us to make better decisions. And of course, the human comes in, very importantly, is to make that human connection, to let the testers know this is not run by AI, right? It's run by human beings. and together with the business owner, and we're trying to listen and help construct or shape this business to offer you something better, right? So then this is creating relationship with your customers. This is AI cannot do.
Right. Thanks for that. I heard you say earlier that it takes less than 10 minutes, to create a quiz, and the business owner can do it themselves, and then there are already ready testers. You can assign who you want to be the testers as well. Who would you say is the ideal user of this platform?
Because we are in the beta mode, ideal users I would say these are business owners who attempted or tried and believe that they need to drive their business in a more customer-centric manner. So they might have tried market research before, but it failed them, right? The results and the outcome is what they didn't, it doesn't give them an ROI or like meet their expectations, and it's expensive. So they may have even give up, or they might have continued to do so, but they're not like seeing the outcome that they want. So when we talk about like using it, I think we made it in a web application format for now. They're mobile friendly. So if anyone who uses mobile like apps, they would be able to very comfortably navigate through. Let's say you have a company website. Just key in the company website URL, and the AI will help to crawl and understand what's your business about. And it will start generating a few test objectives for you to choose. Once you select the test objective, it will generate the test questions for you to choose. And once you select them, it will very quickly generate the entire test design for you. That's all. And you can make edits from there.
Wow, that sounds very, very exciting. It's almost dummy proof. I feel like I can actually go on the system and use it myself. That's very encouraging. If somebody like myself who isn't very tech savvy, can I get help from Humankind Insights itself?
We aim to become a SaaS platform, but of course, in this early stage, we are still pretty much gathering how businesses use our platform and interact with our platform. So this is super important. So practically every potential businesses or client now we work with them very closely. So if they need help, they can always reach out to us. But the first contact point, they know us, right? So we'll be really working very closely with them until that we figure out the entire user journey on our platform is almost dummy proof, like it's straightforward for them. Then we are comfortable to say that, we are confident to say that they can really like get this done within 10 minutes by their own. So it also takes us that learning curve for us now to go through the entire process, and they will be supported.
Can you give us some examples of maybe some potential brands or clients that have already onboarded themselves, so that you give some inspiration to our audience?
Sure, let me take it from here. So we have been speaking to a departmental store, and we have an ongoing project with them to find out more about their customer experience with their membership program. Yeah, so we will be deploying it like this week and having a look. So some of the things that they can actually find out through Humankind Insights would, for example, be just understanding who their customers are. First of all, so for example, in this membership program, are they their current customers, or is it gaining traction with new customers? That's something that we can find out. And looking at audience persona is something that we have been doing very closely in our brand strategy process, and that's really finding out exactly who these people are who are coming to your business. So for example, their demographics, their age, their occupation, their backgrounds, but also in terms of psychographics would be useful, their personality traits. And this is something that you can ask them directly. Do you have time? Are you a busy person, or are you someone who has a lot of time on your hands? For example, how do you find out about new products and services that you want to try out or experience? So that's one. Another one which is also very important, which we believe would be helpful in helping businesses understand where to focus their efforts in would be the audience user journey. For example, how do they find out about your business, the awareness stage? Is it through word of mouth, or is it from social media, TV ads, for example? And how do they then consider whether they want to even try out your product or service? Is it because someone told you about it, someone trusted, or maybe you have heard about it from a celebrity and you always try out new businesses because this celebrity endorses them? The conversion stage as well. How do you then decide that you actually want to purchase from this business? And so on and so forth. And how do you kind of decide whether you want to come back to the business, and do you even tell other people about it? So that's the audience user journey. Besides that, we also do encourage learning from competitors. So one very interesting thing about this platform is that you don't just need to create these tests based on your business. You can actually send testers to your competitors and find out how are they doing, how are they conducting their business, what is their experience of their product or service. So learning from competitors is also another thing that we do pursue in our strategy work, and that's really to find out what are some of the gaps, and we can even chart it on a value canvas to find out what are the gaps that competitors are not serving the customers and the target audiences. So, or even places where they are already doing very well. So where can we then come in and offer something different, offer something differentiated?
We now focuses on B2C services and products, and especially those that operates in a very high competitive environment, and like consumer behavior trends change very dynamically. They need a lot more real-time insights to actually make a lot of like business decisions strategically. If they do not able to collect these insights timely, they'll be basically a follower. We also talk to like a few F&B businesses. These like F&B businesses, like, consumer behavior trend changed so much. A lot of F&B comes in with a bank, and after which they find really, really hard to sustain and retain their customers. So those are very important. So I think one last point to add on was that once we gather all these data points, right, eventually when we have enough data points, we can actually map out, for example, the audience persona, what's the profile, demographic, psychography. And then with that, we can map out the user journeys. With that, we can also learn, when we learn from competitors, we use frameworks. We can map out a framework for value canvas. So all these frameworks will become backed by real data, real insights based on the survey. And then the businesses can, based on these frameworks now, to make their business decision.
How long does it typically take from design to execute it, implement it, and then, get results from a decent database? How long would you say we need to budget for that process?
Let's say we talk about a typical focus group exercise that with a 50 sample size, it might take them 6 weeks to 3 weeks to design, implement, gather the insights report. For us, we recommend to use our platform a 7 days test cycle. And these also involve a smaller sample size, but quicker, right? Let's say over a 7 days test cycle, we can get like even 50 response. That's great, right? And even 10 response would be great. That means the test design need to be very, very targeted questions asked. So once we are able to do this 7 days test cycle, then we can redesign the test and with better questions. So it's like, how we practice in design thinking. You don't want to be spending a lot of time designing questions because you know that you only can ask them one time, because it's just a very expensive process to go through again. Now that we have made it like accessible and affordable, it is better to push out and ship your test, get response, and then you realize that, hey, maybe we shouldn't be asking the question this way, right? We should ask better, deeper question. Maybe we didn't know about this enough. So the second and the subsequent test will allow you to actually dig deeper, right? So the 7 days test cycle is something that we want to focus on, kind of like unlock a new way of looking at how agile market research is being done.
Sounds like you're totally disrupting the whole market research and data insights playing field. So it's very exciting. So
Sure.
Humankind Insights is one of the most value-added solutions for gathering customer feedback. Can you elaborate how your pricing is like for your projects?
Sure. So basically, to run a test, there's a two component to the price or cost. First component is the cash rebate. So this is somewhere between $5 to $10, depends on how much you want to offer and how much is your item, right? So a $5 may warrant you asking 7 to 8 open-ended questions. The second component to the cost is actually what we charge, which is also a $5 per submissions. So even you run a $10 cash rebate, it's still a $5 per submissions. A simple example, I run a test, I want to gather 10 submissions, right? So offering a cash rebate of $5 each. So that will be equating to a $50 cash rebate plus another $50 for the 10 submissions. So in total, this test will cost me $100. So if I have a budget of $500, it would mean that I can run 5 tests. I can ask deeper questions and gather more quality insights from there. And if I'm a startup, I'll be super excited to use that, even if I don't have my product or service ready at that point of time. I will ask my testers to try out the product I'm keen in a specific location where I want to set up my shop to see, where are existing people buying this product from. It will give me such valuable insights where it helped me shape my decision whether I'm going to invest in this locality and selling this product in a certain manner. That's so powerful.
Yes, it is. It's very, very powerful because these services would not have been available to startups or businesses that are really just, beginning to explore the customer product fit, right? So this actually is going to be like changing the entire landscape of market research and business insights for them. For the audience here that are listening in, if they wanted to run a project, how do they do that? Where do they go?
They can come to our website, humankind.design, and you can contact us through there or just email us simply hello@humankind.design. We're also, you can also find us in LinkedIn, DM us there, we'll definitely respond. We're happy to work with any B2C businesses now that value customers' insights, they're customer-centric driven. We can bring value to their business.
To everyone, we will probably be linking Humankind Insights on our platform. Feel free to ask questions to Juhu and Jemima on our platform. Before I let you both go, would you like to give a word of advice to brand owners who are looking to launch their products, launch their brand, build their startup? Maybe we'll start with the lady, Jem.
To the brand owners looking to launch their startup, really get very close to your customers. They are your paymasters, and they are the ones you are going to value add to. So really thinking about their lives, how can our offering bring a better quality of life to them? That's something that we always think about. Yeah.
Last but not least, Juhu.
Thanks. So I will quote what we learned from Mr. Seth Godin. So he's a marketing guru. And what all businesses are all about is that whether you can bring your customers back tomorrow and whether they will tell someone else about how great your offering is because they believe that their friends deserve such offering. I think that's the primary goal that we want to help businesses discover. Yes, maybe customers will not tell you what product to create because you have your own roadmap, you have your own capability and strength, but you could use their insights, you use our platform to find and validate whether your new product is what they want. Eventually, you have to create a product that gives them the value. What is the value they're looking for? Will help you get and grow your business in a more scalable way.
Thank you very much, Jem and Juhu, for spending so much time with us this morning. The audience at scaleupmastery.com and I, thank you.
Thank you, Sin.
If you have questions for Juhu or Jemima, please go to scaleupmastery.com and ask away. If you have topics you think may be interesting for other business owners like you, please let us know. Remember, sign up to be a part of our community and get invited to other sessions that may be useful to you as you scale your company.